Thank you for being here, Heavenly Divine, and my name is Trish. Why I'm not a love reader. So for the small audience that I entertain, y'all are aware that I specialize in finance readings. I am very good at hard reads, readings that are challenging for majority readers, like concerning backstabbers, concerning cheaters, health, court, etc. You know, most readers, they just want to read all the cards upright and give you good, happy reads. It's kind of what some people consider challenging hard reads, are readings that tell you the truth. Number one, some of the reasons why I stay away from a love read is because I want you to remember to be in the now. I want you to remember to live life, to enjoy your life right now. There are plenty, if you look around, there are plenty of people in relationships and they're not enjoying themselves. There are plenty of people who are single and some people are not enjoying themselves, vice versa. There are people who are single who are enjoying themselves. There are people who are in relationships enjoying themselves. You know, whatever state that we are in, we would like to be both, right? So there are, for some of the people some people have already found love. They're already in a relationship and they're like, what's next? You know, we're looking for more. For some people who are still waiting for love to come to them, either way, I feel that this is all the same. One of my friends told me it's best, you need to be in a state of love. And I do feel that you need to be enjoying yourself in the moment. And that's how people come around and they enjoy you and they enjoy their life with you. But I do want to keep people in the moment of being in the now, living and let go, enjoying the moment. And also for the people who are in a relationship, what you did to get them is what you got to do to keep them. So, you know, if y'all were going on adventures, that's something that y'all got to keep up. If y'all were a very intimate sexual couple, that's something that y'all got to keep up. If y'all were friends and y'all communicated all the time together, that's something that y'all have to keep up. So usually most people come around because when they met you, you were in a very happy state. You were in a loving state. And that's generally what most people, not always, but that can help out. You staying in a state of being aware of your present and being happy with that as much as you can, enjoying that. Because some people are in a bad state, but you can enjoy yourself as much as you can. So enjoying that. And so when I start going into my intuition and after I'm done reading the card and I start doing a little bit of counseling, I start pulling from what I learned from psychology. If you look closely and if you notice. I also remind people all the time that coming to the cards is spiritual therapy. Not everybody has $5,000 that they are able to pay each month for a clinical psychologist to ignore them too. Believe it or not, you may have the funds for health insurance, but some people out here may not have those same means. As I say, spiritual psychology. First of all, it's really hard to find a good doctor. But the cards for some people, especially if you're within psychology, is spiritual therapy. I used to watch a retired psychologist read people. And after he would read the cards, most people he would tap into a little clinical psychology session. And if you notice with me, I have to do that with some people too. I have to tap into some of the things that I learned in psychology. And I used to hang out with a girl who would read birth charts for people, and she would help people come to a reconcile, come to a knowing, come to feeling okay, because they would learn about themselves through their birth chart. All type of psychology is very similar, where it helps people think about their situations, talk about their situations, and move through it in a healthy way. If you are meeting someone on a sexual basis, you're getting together just because the sex was hot, just because they look good, your relationship is not going to last longer than 2 to 3 years. Now, some relationships go past that loophole where they make it 5, but most relationships, unless you are making a real foundation basis where you guys are friends, where you guys have a common agreement, it could be finance, it could be some type of partnership, it could be something that y'all agree on that has y'all stuck together, that has y'all staying together. But if it's just gonna be on sex, then ain't nothing gonna hold y'all together. The cards are not gonna be able to hold that together. I keep telling people the cards are not gonna force anyone to love you. They're just gonna tell you how you're making it down your path. But yeah, so God gave everyone a free. God has given everyone free choice, free will to make a choice. There's no need to force. There's not really much forcing that you're going to be able to do after a certain period of time. With most people, you're not going to be able to force nothing forever. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. And it's easier. You hear a lot of people saying right now, it is easier for a woman to gauge a man on the princess treatment. You need to be getting princess treatment. Like, for example, like say, you one of those people like me who work Christmas. And your boo is like, I don't want you working Christmas. And, you say, I'm going to be working Christmas, boo, and I'm going to see you on the 26th, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that it really is easier for a woman to look for that princess treatment. I'm not saying that the man needs to, force you. I said you're not going out Christmas, and that's that, period. I'm just saying that you want to look for that man with that genuine heart, that heart that's genuine, I'm not going to force you, but, I really would, like it if you took that off. It's easier for you to look for that instead of a woman trying to teach a man or trying to mold a man into how a woman needs to be treated. Same thing for a man, man. You're looking for that girl who actually supports you. Does she support your dumbass dreams? Looking for that girl who actually holds your corner. Does she holds it down for you? Does she have your back? This goes into my next point, fate. I feel like a lot of men think that it's supposed to be fate, right? I looked at you, love at first sight. It's supposed to work out. We don't get no arguments. We don't get nothing. There's nothing to fix. Nothing. The chemistry, the chemistry is supposed to make it keep going. This is what gets on my nerves most of the time. Yes, there is such thing as love at first sight. Yes, there is such thing as chemistry. Yes, there is such thing as seeing someone and knowing that knowing that you finna work it out with them. There is such thing as seeing someone and finding them beautiful from first sight, or finding somebody handsome from first sight. But this stuff, how people think that like that's all you need, yeah, that's BS. I believe that everything is work. Even when you've met someone that things could start off working a whole lot better than other people in certain relationships, doesn't mean that you can't put the work in. You got to put the work in. You have to put the work in. You have to figure out who this person is. You have to learn them. Let them learn you. And when you guys get through challenging times, you guys have to work it out with each other. But I see a lot of people, coming to the cars just like expecting the cars to do it, instead of trying to be a partner in this relationship and do teamwork with the person. It's not fate that, and chemistry, the cards that are keeping y'all together. It's the work that you do with each other. But my next point is number 6, trade for trade. So trade for trade is what I say that people, and I mostly see this in men because I'm a woman and that's where my dating experiences come from. I see a lot of men think that, well, if I trade you dinner tonight, then you're going to trade me sex. That's not how dating works. And then you can't come to the cards asking why didn't that work. I wish majority men would stop walking around expecting every pretty face to have sex with them. I wish that, now let me go ahead and say that in layman's terms. That means exactly what I said. Just because you see a pretty girl in front of you does not mean she's obligated to have sex with you. And I mean the same thing that goes with the cars too. Because you've met someone does not mean they're obligated to fall in love with you. And the cards, the magic of the cards is not going to force this person to do this with you. But that is when it starts going to me asking, whatever happened to romance? Don't we not remember our elders teaching us that? You know, I'm going to start going back into people are skipping the stage of getting to know someone. And most people like to give you a diagram of 3 months, 6 months, whatever. If you taking the time to get someone, you taking the time to get to know someone, and that's not going to happen over the phone. That's also not going to happen in one night. Take the time to get to know someone so you can stop getting your feelings hurt catastrophically. But yeah, what happened to romance? And I don't know why I wanted to add this in here, but there's 2 types of women out here, right? You got high maintenance and you got high value. High maintenance, some men don't mind, you know, when they get a high maintenance woman and a high value woman. But a high maintenance woman is a woman who you have to provide everything for her. You got to pay everything. You got to pay the hair, the nails, the bills, the kids, her car, her clothes, everything. Some men don't mind providing everything. And then you have high value women who they letting you know that, you know, I cost this much. I don't need your help to pay my hair and nails and stuff like that. I don't need your help to pay for the assets of the home. But since you're coming in to be within my home, I want you to be able to keep up with what I've already got going on. So I need you to be able to pay for yourself. I need you to be able to pay for what we've decided to put in our home together. And I need y'all to understand that some women are assets. Some women make money. And some men look for that within their wife. And some men don't want that at all because they see it as a threat. They think they're not a man at all. But there's 2 types. I wonder why I put that in here, but I want y'all to understand there's 2 types of women out here. You got high maintenance and you got high value. And high maintenance, you have to pay everything for them. And high value, you don't have to pay for them, but you are going to pay. Because there's no way that she's going to have a grown man bring her down. And is that going into my next point? I wonder if I wrote that down, y'all. When y'all get into relationships, y'all need to keep this in mind, that you can do bad all by yourself. And that whether a man is supposed to come along and make your life better. Same thing as with a woman. A woman is supposed to come along and somehow your life is supposed to be getting better, not worse, you guys. So that's a big deal if you're with somebody and your life is getting worse. So it's okay for you to sit down and to figure out what you want and to say it. Say it to the person who's sitting on the other side of this table as you. And if you guys are realizing that this person is not on the same page as you, do your best to leave with grace. Because a lot of people are leaving in the most disrespectful way that they can. And if I was you, I would not do that, because the next person that you get with is paying attention to how you treated the last person that you was with. For example, I pay attention to how you treated your ex. If you're treating your ex like shit, you're going to get with me and treat me like shit. So I'm not going to get with you. But yeah, y'all, just look at it this way. The person they just want to go and be with somebody who's compatible for them. And that's what you finna do. You finna say, okay, you go get what's best for you, because that's what you finna do. You're finna go see who else out here is most compatible for you. You guys, try to look for love, not within the cards, but be in a state of love. Enjoy your life. This is the 7th point, and this is my final point. Depression and sexual addictions. This is where I'm going into you guys being in a state of love. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. How you love yourself is how you love other people. And you will notice that how other people love you is what you're going to accept. You tell other people how to love you. Sometimes you tell other people how to love you with how you treat yourself. People are not going to love you more than how you love yourself. So some people do need to practice in treating themselves well, being patient with themselves, loving themselves. And then you can go off and love someone else. And then it's easier for you to see if somebody's actually loving you and not abusing you. But if you are depressed, you should not be dating. You have got to stay by yourself and learn how to cope, learn coping mechanisms, learn how to soothe yourself, learn how to make yourself feel better. Because trying to validate, trying to reach outside and have this person make you feel better, you're going to drown them. That's usually what's going to happen. People who are sad make other people sad. So don't try to get in a relationship thinking that that's going to make you happy. That's going to do the opposite. And then you're not going to understand why you're going around in relationship after relationship just hurting people. And you're going to be crying, hurting yourself more that you're doing that. And another thing is a sexual addiction. If you have a sexual addiction, your ass know you don't need to be in no goddamn ass relationship. And you need to be fucking single. And you really don't need to go around playing house with people neither. Now, I was listening to Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus. I can't remember which philosopher I was listening to. It was Socrates. But he said, I know it's a bit cold turkey, but they said, if you have an addiction, stop. I know that sounds kind of mean, doesn't it? Especially for someone who's like knee deep in addiction, you know, like something that's very serious as meth or something like that. But just if you want to end something that you do not like doing anymore, just stop. That's going to work for some people and that's not going to work for others. But have you tried? I did try that once for a bad habit of mine and it did work. So try it first before you say it's not going to work. But yeah, if you got any type of depression, any type of addictions, you have got to come to terms with that, some type of acceptance, some type of control before you decide to enter yourself into a relationship where someone else is going to be involved, because now you've got more variables. Let's not guess anymore, you guys. Let's know how the person across from us feels. If you ever gotten into a relationship on the basis of security, like I know this person likes me, they know I like them, is such a satisfying feeling. Instead of getting into a relationship, it's been 3 months and I'm still unsure how this person feels about me. And that's a sign. If you're unsure how someone feels about me, if you're unsure about how someone feels about you, they generally don't like you, because you will know how that person feels about you. So you guys, let's stay with logic and communicate. You guys will hear me see that over and over and over again, like all the time, because once someone has stopped talking to you, you have lost them. And I hope that's answered a lot of questions for people. That's pretty much it for a lot of things. Communicate. Communication is going to get y'all through these hard times. Communication is going to get you on security, learning how somebody feels about you. And with communication, I just feel like, what are you coming to the cards for? This is how I feel when I'm in relationships. I never need to ask the card about my relationship unless something's going on sneaky and that's going to pop up on me. I don't need to. When I'm in a relationship with somebody and I know how it's going, I know I can go over to that person and ask them myself, hey, how you feeling today? You feeling good? Great. Oh, this is great. But like, yeah. Now, communicate, you guys. That's going to tell you the first number one way what's going on in your relationship. Please communicate. I'll get into the reading later for some of those people who are having communication issues. Because sometimes, I'll just say it now. Some people are having communication issues, and that's why they're coming to the read. Because they're trying to figure out, how am I going to move next? But for those other situations where a lot of people they're not even talking to the person of their interest. They haven't even said hello. So they don't even know, that the person's not interested, or the person could be with someone else. Y'all stop doing these tricks, thinking that, you could trick someone into loving you. Surprise, hide and go seek, dick came out your pussy, you love me. No, y'all. Fucking let people know. The woman sit there, be patient. Let this man tell you his intentions. And the man, figure out what your intentions are for the person that is in front of you. What do you want? You want long term? You want short term? Don't lie. You're going to be able to get what you're wishing for and what you want a whole lot quicker if you tell the truth to people than if you lie. So when I had learned this in Psychology 101, I started going around telling people, and people were telling me to shut up. But I was like, why? I think it's kind of cruel that we don't tell people the truth. So I learned in psychology that 50% of the people in this world are going to get married, and 50% don't. As we grow, people will, just like what I said, some people will get married, and some people, sort of kind of like me, you'll never be in a relationship. Not a bad one, not a toxic one, not a healthy one. Some people are never going to be in a relationship, and some people are never going to get married. And now I want people to understand right off the bat that that doesn't mean that you're a loser. That doesn't mean that you're better than other people if you're in a relationship or not. Because everybody needs to open up their eyes. There are people who are in relationships who are not doing okay, and there are people in relationships who are doing just fine. There are people who are single who are doing wonderful. And there are people in relationships who are doing great. So we can't equate this to that's the ultimate happiness. We can't equate this to being in a relationship means success, because that's not the truth. The truth of success and happiness is within the individual. And it doesn't matter if you are in a relationship or if you are single or whatever for you to be unhappy or happy. Honestly, it's a choice. You make the choice. Just like someone sat down next to you and decided that they chose to love you. You decided to sit here and to be unhappy in a relationship or to be happy while you're single. So the reason why I feel that I don't like that lie that people say that there's someone for everyone, it's because, first of all, it's not the truth. The truth is that 50% of people out here might not get married. And so how did that, when I learned that, when I was taught that there's someone out here for everyone, then that made me think I was a bit entitled. I feel like you have some readers who are entitled. For example, they see the Lover's card and then they say to you, your soulmate's coming around the corner next week. You ready? And so for me, you assholes were saying this for 20 plus years. It's been over 20 years, and he's still not here. Dude must be dead. He must have ran into a detour, somewhere. He did a trade for trade or something like that. He's up in a detour, whatever. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is that I thought that was a bit cruel. I think that's cruel to tell people that there's someone for them, when the truth for some people is that it might be other things that you have to pay attention to in your life besides romance or love and a marriage. And I think that's pretty cruel to get everyone just paying attention to romance, love, and marriage. So anyways, I started gaining other experiences with the cards. So when the Lover card started popping up for me, I started pulling from other experiences of my life. Like where I was getting a raise, or where I had a fair business with a contractor, or where I was meeting someone who wanted to help me out, like business-wise, things like that. Because the Lovers also means fair business, contracts, getting along with people, no arguments, things like that. So I started pulling things from the cards that meant other things besides love. And then I started doing that within my life. And other people started telling me to, my elders started telling me to do that too. Are you one of those people who are like me, that you're not, that you're not going to get married in this lifetime? So what else are you going to do with your life? Are you going to be one of those nasty people who are going to go around raping everybody? Oh my God. Or are you going to be one of these people who realize there's so much in life for me to live for? I got my family, I got my work, I got myself. You know, I came here to live life for myself. I can take care of myself. There's these goals that I can get to. They say there's this goal right here that I'm about to get to next year. That's loving. You're about to love yourself for doing that. Hey, say there's some debts that you could pay off. You're going to love yourself for doing that. But is there nothing else in life that you could live for? Is there nothing else that you want to do? What about simple things like ride your bike? Don't we have enough love readers out here? Honestly, like, can't you go to anybody and get a love reading? I try to remind people, do other things. You know, forget about love for a second. Do something else. Let the spirits tell you about love that's coming to you throughout the cards. Don't search for it. But on the other hand, for those people who get lied to, I can understand why you're coming to the cards. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here. I'm seeing you next video.